like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Great evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to another amazing, incredible broadcast of the Victim No More podcast. This is Bobby Patterson, aka Bobby P. And of course, you know you're going to be in for a treat this evening with this evening's guest. But before I go any further, first of all, I want to thank each and every one of you that is taking the time out to watch this live stream. And even if you're catching this on replay, look, I appreciate you. I thank you. I also want to thank each and every one of you that have already purchased merchandise to help support the podcast. That is amazing. I will put a link to the store in the chat comments here in a little bit. But I just want to take the time out to just say thank you. This is episode 22. Believe it or not, time flies. It waits for no man, especially when you get to working on your work, your goals, your assignment, if you will. But nevertheless, this evening's guest is incredible. They have such a energetic personality, and they are funny. They're just absolutely funny. They're witty. But they also have an amazing story, because everybody has a story. Everybody has a journey. And so she's going to share her journey. She's going to share, how she's made her transformation while being a part of this amazing energy called Total Life Changes. So before I bring her on, you know how I do things each and every week. I'm going to go ahead and give you a video package of this evening's guest.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a wonderful day. I just wanted to share something with y'all real quick. So I'm sitting here listening to the Moses Code on my way to the dentist, and I just realized something. The minute a friend or somebody that you're closely connected with shares something with you, like maybe a challenge or something that they're praying for, that they want or that they need, and later on down the line you hear that they got that thing or they overcame that obstacle or challenge, you should rejoice, because that is God showing you that he's still in the miracle working business. No matter how small or large that thing is, rejoice. So I know friends are out there praying for stuff. Listen, share your testimony with me, because I'm clapping for you. That reminds me that God is still in the blessing business. Y'all have an amazing day. I love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye.
more powerful than you think you are, and you are necessary and you are needed, Charrele. So thank you for being transparent. Believe in who you are. Know that you are amazing. It's not a mistake or chance that you are in proximity with me. You got my phone number. That means that you are somebody special. And I saw you this weekend, and there's a lot of volunteers that I did not see, but I saw you showing up and serving and honoring me through honoring my community that I created. And I want to tell you thank you. I may not say thank you enough, but it's going to come back a harvest. So believe that October and November is your month. Things are going to happen to you in a miraculous way. Doors are going to open for you in a miraculous way. You better believe it, and you better receive it, okay? You are amazing, and I told you that a long time ago. Your voice will be heard all around the world one day. Just keep going. Don't give up on you. If you give up on you, you're giving up on me. So keep going. We love you.
I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Miss Charrele Brown to the Victim No More podcast.
What's up, Bob?
Thank you so much for being here.
Awesome. That was awesome. That was amazing. I can't stop smiling. My cheeks hurt.
I'm glad. I appreciate, going down memory lane. It touches some places. It reminds you of, where you come from, how far you've come, but it also gives you hope and the energy to keep going to your destiny. And just to give a little background as to how we met, and this is why never limit yourself, never put yourself in a box as to which it blocks out the possibilities as far as life is concerned and meeting some amazing people. By virtue of having certain individuals on this podcast, namely Miss LaKendra Jones and Maxine Campbell, earlier this year, I developed, a relationship with both of those amazing women, and the connections really started flowing. And by virtue of that, met LaKendra's son, Mr. Kai Blue, and through all those connections, somehow or another, you ended up on my timeline on Instagram. And I remember some of those lives that you were doing, and I was like, this woman, she off the charts, because you are so truthful, you are so blunt, you're tactful with it, but then there are times where you just boom and let the pieces fall where they may. But we need that. I know I appreciated that. So I saw that gift in you, that kind of gift where when you speak, it literally penetrates, and it ain't just words being spoken. It ain't just somebody just trying to sound something to make themselves sound good. When you speak with purpose. And so I said, there's something special about this woman here. And then I saw where you've had a serious transformation, which I know you'll get into. But that is pretty much how, we got connected as far as on Instagram. And I'm blessed. Anytime you go live, I know you're going to say something of value. And if not, you're going to say something funny. But what I'm not going to do is walk away empty. And I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So I know folks are going to feel it. They're going to see it for themselves this evening. So just thank you so much for taking your time out to come on the Victim No More podcast.
Wow. Well, I just want to say thank you so much. That was like the best introduction I've ever been given. And I've been given some good introductions. So that just says to me, life is getting better. And hopefully, well, no, not hopefully, you said it. I'm making an impact, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful. Thank you so much. Wow.
No problem. No problem. Now, of course, as we're getting to know who Charrele Brown is, and of course, we gonna definitely get a feel as to who she's also becoming. But kind of give us a little walk as to who was Charrele Brown a number of years ago, and of course, especially before Total Life Changes. Who was she?
So I don't know how far you want me to go back, but I'll go to what I see now as a pivotal point in my life. I thought it was slow back then. I didn't think it was going on. You know what I'm saying? But it was something happening then that brought me to where I am now.
Okay.
but I would say it was in between the time span of my youngest being born and 2 years ago, basically. And, I had lost my mother while I was 8, almost 9 months pregnant with my youngest. So my mother basically was the best mother a girl could ever want. It was my last parent. My dad had died already. All of my grandparents were gone. So my mom was like my last person that I had,
Okay.
And, when she passed away, I thought all types of things. I wanted to do all types of things. I went through the classic depression, that stuff. You lose your mother, it's different. You become a different person. But it's funny how God works and how everything is orchestrated. And as painful as that was for me, Bobby, he knew what to give me to keep me here. So that's how I know I have work to do. Yeah. So basically, I told you I was 8.5 months pregnant with my youngest when my mother was dying and she died, right? Had I not been pregnant, I don't think I would be here talking to you right now. Right? So God had put a life inside of me while one life was transitioning to the other side. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he gave me, and it's almost like I see it as a very, very infant relationship. Like, here, let me give her a toy and keep her quiet while I do my work. Give her a gift to keep her quiet while I do my work. Right? So he gave, I was blessed with Quinn. I tell her all the time, you saved mommy's life. So I was hurt. I felt a sense of abandonment. I used humor. I used food. I used sleep. I used excuses. I used being sedentary as an excuse because I had so many reasons to be sad. You feel me? And so one day, something happened to click me into gear to say, all right, you need to change. Right? And it wasn't getting in TLC. TLC to me was an instinctual reaction. I was broke and I needed something to go on. I was doing another network marketing company. And so I knew about network marketing, but then I saw my coach, Mayor Chris Brown, and I saw that he had transitioned to that. That's where I met him, in the other network marketing company. He had transitioned over to TLC and he seemed to have this excitement. And I was like, man, I got to be a part of that. Plus, I need money. Plus, I know Chris is the type, Chris gets money. Right. Because whatever he participates in is lucrative, is right. He's able to help. Like, he's one to follow if you're looking for investments. Right. But I digress. Right. That wasn't the pivotal moment. That was just a means. It was a means to some end that still hasn't happened yet. But, I joined TLC, had the product sitting on my shelf for couple weeks. Oh, I might as well take this product. I never wanted to detox before. So I took the product. I had 3 products, NRG, NutriBurst, Tea. So I said, wow, this tea really works. This NutriBurst has my blood work looking different at the doctor, but I digress, right? Iron deficiency, heart palpitations, all of that stuff in my experience. I started to get the vitamins that I needed by taking the NutriBurst. And remember I said I used sleep and being sedentary as an excuse? Yeah. So the moment was when those products started to work in my system, I had clarity, right? The tea, that cleans you out. It's a detox. So I started to get clarity. Oh, I take the tea. I feel amazing. I take the NutriBurst. Everything looks good at the doctor. I take the NRG. I feel like doing some exercise, right? So click. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm going to walk. Yeah, I'm going to walk. Remember, we used to walk this route and I used to be tired. So I started having small successes like that. Right? Started to have, issues with people that I love that I was in the trenches with. because we grew up together. And I'm like, yeah, come on with me. Let's go. Oh
Okay.
no, I'm gonna do that. So that's who she was. That is who she was. And she's still
So,
working. She's working.
well, I've noticed that there's something that you've taken on,
Mhm.
and you do it every morning, and you get folk mad at you. And it's a dangerous thing whenever you see Charrele in a jump rope in her hand. How did that come about?
It was not thought about. And now that I look back on it, it was funny. It seems kooky and goofy, but it's funny now. I'm seeing a lot of boxing commercials and local fitness commercials
Mm-hmm.
on, like the CNN and local cable channels. And then because, it was during the COVID was kind of on the out. We were, outside again. But I started seeing people jump rope. And then I said, full body exercise, and jump rope was one of those things that came up. But that wasn't, and then one day I was like, I got to do something. So I started jumping rope. And then I started seeing that Trent had been jumping rope already.
Okay, now just remind everyone who Trent is.
Okay, I'm sorry. Trenton Weaver. He is a regional director with Total Life Changes, as
Okay.
well as one of Stormy's friends, and he's employed with her company. So
Okay.
Trenton Weaver, but
Okay.
he had been jumping rope already, so I kind of looked at him, and I reached out to him, and we did a little jump challenge together, which was awesome. It was working with leadership because I wasn't regional at the time, but so that was amazing. That all worked out for me. Now I'm jumping, and I just promised myself, when you start this, just don't quit.
Yeah, that don't quit thing. I think you got that down pat, because you got folk that basically get mad at you just about every day because you just won't quit,
Mhm.
because you take them through. As far as the jump roping is concerned,
Mhm.
it is an amazing exercise.
Mhm.
What I want to do is kind of pit stop right now.
Okay.
There's something that you do that is so unique that it comes so natural to you because it's who you are. But you have this gift of being able to speak life, not only speak life in the now, but also speak life as far as the future is concerned. Well, when did you notice that you were able to really have that much power as far as with your words are concerned, and how it literally plays into who you are today?
I'm learning that every day. I just learned some more of it just now from you, because everybody says that same thing that you said, but they say it in different words. And
Hmm.
comes out as beautifully eloquent that you've made it sound like. But sometimes it comes out ugly. Like you make me sick because you keep showing up all the time.
The that transition, I call it C moments,
Hmm.
the significant emotional event.
Hmm.
And of course, that was tied to the passing of your mother.
Hmm.
There's a lot of people that literally deal with the passing of a parent, and especially as we go into these holidays. That time period when you was really dealing with that, and as you started coming out of it, it's put you in a position to be able to speak to those individuals who are currently going through that.
Hmm.
I've experienced, and I talk to people all the time whose parents have passed away 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and it's still fresh to them.
Hmm.
What would you speak to those individuals that are still going through, and what can you speak to them as far as the encouragement to kind of take this progress as far as I don't want to call getting past it, because you never get past it, a passing of a loved one.
Mm-hmm.
How can we better deal and be able to still live our life?
Mm-hmm.
Because you've done it and you're still doing it and you make it look so good.
Mm.
But there's some things that spiritually goes on, and it's different for everyone. What words of encouragement in life can you speak to those individuals who right now possibly on this podcast watching
Mm-hmm.
that is experiencing that issue right now?
So I would first say, if anybody tells you when and where you and how you should be grieving, get as far away from those people as you possibly can. No one should tell you. There's no roadmap for grief. It's no roadmap for grief. Okay, it happens the way it happens. And they say if there are 5 stages of grief, it might be 20. We don't know. Okay, so don't let books and experts and all of that tell you how you should grieve. Second thing is, don't hurt yourself. And that's very important, because it depends on who you lose and what devices you have to deal with grief. That's the first thing you want to do, is go be with that person in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What if it's stuff, words unfinished, words unsaid? Like, it's a lot to deal with that. The third thing is, do not beat yourself up. So don't hurt yourself and don't beat yourself up. It's actually don't kill yourself, to be quite honest. I was trying to make it soft, but it's don't kill yourself. And don't beat yourself up. And beating yourself up is, I should have did this. I should have said this. Was it my fault? What was the last thing I said to him or her? Did I call? Stop that too. You have to be able, at this point, once that place is barren, that person is not there anymore, get up from out of that situation and take yourself into a new situation, because life has to move on without that person. And the quicker you do that, the quicker you will be able to manage your grief. And manage means giving yourself time to grieve, even if it's 20 years later. And it's your mom's birthday and you've been okay for 13 birthdays, but this birthday you just don't feel okay about it. That's okay. Don't let people tell you when to do you. But do not stay in that situation. Because I will tell you, like I know, you stay there and you're head down and you're grieving. But you get up out of there and you go to your new place and live out the rest of your life in this person's energy, because they will show you that they're there. I.e., you have a baby right after that. Just because you thought, God knows everything. He knows all, beginning to end. So energy never dies. I know that's whimsical, but that's how I feel about the situation.
Now, you talk briefly as far as the products that you use as far as your transformation is concerned, but let's not make light of it. I mean, you can look at those pictures and see something serious happened with Charrele. Kind of walk us through the process from the beginning to where you are now, as it pertains as far as your transformation. Now, from a weight standpoint, and I don't even want to stay on how much weight you have actually dropped, because it's bigger than the scale. I am a huge advocate.
Mm-hmm.
I respect the scale. The scale has a purpose, but it's not the totality of anybody wellness journey at all. But for numbers' sake, how much have you dropped as far as the weight is concerned?
Okay, so I would say 140 now.
Okay.
I was pounds, so 60 pounds.
So you have dropped 60 pounds. Anybody looking at those pictures know that you have went through a tremendous transformation. So congratulations. Because ultimately your story is an issue that a lot of people deal with. It's just that they don't really like talking about it. It's real. It is very real, but it does have an effect as far as how you ultimately
Mhm.
living your life and how you're treating yourself. And so it's a process. So here it is. You got two processes you're dealing with all at the same time. And you took ownership of your health and you said enough was enough. So you talked about
Mhm.
the T, you talked about the Nutriverse, you talked about the NRG, but talk about the other decisions outside of the products that you took as far as your eating lifestyle and how you became even more active to the type of active that you are now, because that doesn't happen overnight. Kind of walk us through that process.
So I was kind of like just ghosting around. Like I was just existing, Bobby, like for real. Just like, let me take my kids to their practices and this. And I'm going. Somebody asked me, do I want to go somewhere? And I low key don't want to go because I feel fat and I can't find anything to wear. And this thing is tight. And oh, these pants ain't made right. And I would tell myself that in my head. And then something said, hey, sis, guess what? You're fat and you're sad because you don't feel well. And deep down inside, you know that eating, being sedentary, and not taking care of yourself is the reason why both of your parents are not here. So, are you going to allow those girls to feel like you feel right now?
Mm.
So, that was it. That was all right. I'm going to do Hennessy Fitness. I'm going to walk on the track. I'm going to park my car far from, the store because I wasn't doing it before. And it was annoying. And I was just doing little stuff just to get some activity. I was just as much as I could. And I was subconsciously doing it. So it looked like I was having progress to other people way before I realized I was having progress.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were going to New York to take my daughter to track meets. Both of them were competing. And, in the beginning of the season was when I started this whole thing. And, we walking up the hill because, you got to park far away from the stadium in New York. And I could hardly make it. I got to stop 3 and 4 times. But then by the end of the season, my daughter was like, Mom, you just walked up the hill. You're in front of me. Like she was saying stuff like that. And I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is cute. Now I feel like walking, and then the walking thing. And then I started running for a little bit. And I didn't stick with it. Then I started riding my bike, but I didn't stick with it. And then I do something. And I started jumping rope. And when I started and I saw what I looked like, I wanted to quit like I did everything else. But that night I started jumping, I videotaped myself. And then the next morning I had my daughter videotape me. And the next day I had my daughter videotape me. And I started going from trying to jump for 10 seconds to trying to jump for 20 seconds to jumping for a minute. Right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do 250 jumps. And then, you know what? I'm going to do 1,000. And we went from 1,000 to 3,000, 3 to 5. And now we're at 5 to 7 every day.
Yeah, every day, every day. As a matter of fact, y'all, she, if you want to follow her on Instagram, it is Greenhouse Soul. And matter of fact, I will put that in the chat comments so you all can actually connect with her and get with her if you want to join that journey as far as jumping rope. Now, the folks that first join her, they complain a little bit, but then they show back up every day. So it's effective because it becomes addictive to them. And I applaud you for finding your spot and finding. I always encourage people to find a plan based on your life,
Mm-hmm.
not based on what everybody else is doing, not
Mm-hmm.
based on how everybody else is looking, not
Mm-hmm.
based on what somebody is telling you, because sometimes folk don't tell the truth. Let's just call it what it is.
That's right.
We are in this world of social media which means images. And
Mhm.
sometimes those images don't tell the truth of what has really went on. Sometimes folks be having surgery to look a certain way. Now, this is not to criminalize having surgery.
Mhm.
This is about, once again, finding a plan based on your life because, and she just disappeared. She'll be back. So I'll just continue on this point is that when you are actually working a plan that's based on your life, it also allows you not to get yourself caught up into comparison with anybody else's journey. If you want to rob yourself of joy, that is the quickest way to do it. She is back. Hallelujah. Welcome back.
Happened. I'm
Welcome
so
back, Charrele. But
sorry.
you finding your place, that one thing that is working for you because it's your spot, it's your lane, it's your assignment.
Mhm.
You are literally inspiring those who have been looking for you for so long, and when they found you, they connect. And so here it is, you are inspiring a whole group of people to pick up a jump rope or go purchase a jump rope or go get one from Amazon because they want to be connected to you.
Mhm.
And I really I watched that, I observed, and I'm like, man, she is so boss. Do she even know how big she is from a spiritual standpoint? And that jump rope is just the beginning. I'm just here to tell you.
Wow.
I am very, very curious as to where you're gonna be
Mhm.
in life, totality, your
Mhm.
business and any other businesses that you have going on a
Mhm.
year from now.
Mhm.
I am see, because you like to have those conversations. So I'm turning it on you. And we're
Mhm.
gonna come back to this podcast and we're literally gonna say, Charrele, you
Mhm.
remember when?
Remember when? That's a game. That's not, I shouldn't call it a game. That is a statement that we make. It's basically a I am statement. Remember when I was, now I am, you know.
Yes.
So yep, absolutely. I
Now
received that.
you brought up a part of your your journey as it pertains to having your daughter video you, record you as you began your jump roping journey.
Mhm.
And I've heard on a couple of lives, how in her way she has held you accountable as far
Yeah.
as your journey is concerned. Elaborate on that just a little bit because it teaches a lesson that our children watch everything that we do, even
Mhm.
if you don't think they listen to anything that we say.
And you know what? I'm gonna try and text her right now because I'll let her come and tell you exactly what that is. But her keeping me accountable. I actually, because I've tried to do things for my daughters before.
Mm,
Oh, I'm going to try and keep you in private school, and I got to take you out, and then I feel disappointed. Oh, I'm going to try and I'm just going to try, but I had to give it to me because I gave up on me first. I would do things for people before I did them for myself.
mm,
So, my daughter didn't tell me that she was holding me accountable back then. She just said, "Hey, mom, I've been watching you, and I'm glad you did this because I was scared for you." That's what she told me at the end of it. And I'm glad she didn't tell me that until the end because I can do something easy now. Not giving up on me
mhm.
now at this point, Bobby, is easy. Before it was hard. Now it's easy. Now I can do it for somebody else. But if I
Right.
can do it for me first, I won't feel cheated.
That is huge. I I I was having a conversation with someone last night.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, I was doing an interview last night, and part of that conversation, I would talk about a few of those times where I thought, if I get on this journey, I'm gonna do it for my children, I'm gonna do it for my family, I'm gonna do it for everybody but myself. And I had a revelation that the reason why I wouldn't commit to myself the way that I should have is because I did not properly see the value in my own self, which in turn meant that I didn't love myself enough to commit to me. And
You
so
Bobby, they say familiarity breeds content. Well, how familiar are you with yourself? So that's why it's easy to give up. So this is an actual podcast. And Mr. Patterson, just say hi. Hi. He said
hi.
he would like for you to tell or share how you actually felt once I started jumping rope and actually getting healthy. Because you didn't tell me that you wanted me to get healthy, but you were hoping that I would. So go ahead.
Okay, so when my mom was like sitting around and was kind of being a little lazy, I felt kind of bad because I was like, am I going to turn out to be like this? Am I going to grow up to be like my mom? And I was worried. So basically what I wanted my mom to do was to get healthier. But I didn't tell her that because I felt like she would say, oh, don't tell me that. I can do whatever I want. But she actually did it by herself. And I was surprised. Maybe I should be like that. So I tried and I watched her do it. I witnessed it and I'm like, how is she doing 500 jumps? And then the next day it was like 5,000, then 7,000, then 8,000. I'm like, what's happening? Is this my mom? And she's like a whole new person. It's actually amazing to see my mother like this. And she's helping me. And sometimes I do get a little upset because I get told what to do. And I'm not really like that kind of person. But she's actually trying to help me. And I'm realizing that now. And she's like, I'm an amazing person.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That's beautiful. Man, the love that I feel, with her actually telling that story, I know that does something to you.
Yeah, it does.
That's one of the biggest ways of a child actually saying, Mama, I love you.
Mm.
And so here it is. She is literally watching her hero transform.
Mm. Yeah.
That is amazing. So I just want to say I'm proud of you.
Thank
I am
you.
proud of you. I'm proud of you as you're going through your journey, how many people you are inspiring. I'm glad that you're on this podcast because there are people now who didn't even know who Charrele was. Now
Wow.
they getting exposed to her and they
Wow.
like, oh, that's the jump rope lady. I can hear it now. I know I'm gonna get the inboxes. They're gonna be like, okay, well, who was this again? So I love this. Man, this is amazing. Now there's a buddy of yours that I'm acquainted with, and sometimes when y'all get on Instagram together and do lives together, it can be a dangerous place.
It can. It can. I know who
And
you talk.
you know who I'm talking about, and
You
that's
talk.
S.J. Harrington.
That's right.
And I remember her recalling a story about how you got connected to Coach Stormy Wellington. How walk us through that as far as what you do, for her right now, and it also goes into one of your expertise and what you teach people to do.
So I basically will become a student. You can learn something from everybody. But when you giving me cold, hard facts and cold game, and for whatever reason, your voice resonates with me, people can call me aggressive, whatever. I call it passionate. You call it whatever you want.
Right.
But that type of talk is something that says, all right, let me listen. What's she saying? Okay. All right. Let me look that up. Yup. Sister's right. Yup. She right on the money. Oh my gosh, she right on the money. Oh my gosh, she right on the money. So when I get enough of that, I'm pretty much going to become a student. So I was definitely a fan, She's famous in my eyes. Stormy, Coach Stormy. And for her to have magically you know, she had a book read, and I'm a nerd. I don't know if y'all know it. I've always been a nerd. That's why I'm so funny, because I used to get teased. And so I use humor to distract people so I can do my thing.
Okay.
But, you know, for some reason, she did this book read, and I'm like, oh, I love books. Let me go press the live. And the little girl that you just saw there talking about me jumping, that's my daughter. I was helping her with a math problem at the time. And so I had pushed the, you know, request button, and then I commenced to helping her. And she went like, you're on live. And I'm like, oh, hey. And so we started reading a book. And she said she likes the way my voice sounds. She likes the way I read. I was reading on her platform for a while. I went from that to serving at her events, and from serving at her events, you know, for her recognizing me publicly, which is awesome, right? Because when you can get somebody like that to recognize you, it's so many moving parts to her whole organization. So he can see me. I've made an impact, and that's all I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to make a big impact, right? I feel like I'm pretty high up the food chain in my eyes. So if I can, you know, at least reach for that level, one day I'm going to get there. You know, that's inevitable. We've already talked about that, God. But, you know, it's like, it's good to have somebody who's given the game. I would rather get the game from somebody than have to live. She's endured a lot. You got to respect it. You got to respect it.
Right.
So.
And so there's something that you actually you literally take care of for her. She just literally just threw it in your lap and said, "Okay, handle it," and she trusts you. You know, in doing that. And I kind of want to go and lead into one of your expertise as far as, you know, from a professional standpoint is concerned. You know, tell us a little bit about that.
So, you know, we were at Millionaire School, and, you know, it was the day after the event was over, and, you know, we went over to the gym, and Coach Stormy and Trent and all those guys were working out. And then afterwards we were talking to Coach, and it was kind of like just the people that worked out, we just circled around her. She was talking, and she was like, yeah, you know, she started talking about me reading again. You know, you so smart. Like, you know, I was serious about that. And so she was like, well, what's your thing? Like, what's your thing? What do you do? And then I told her, she was like, no, professionally, like, what do you do? Like, you got to be a professional. And I was like, you know, I explained to her what I did. She was like, all right, I'm gonna give you my LinkedIn. And she logged in on her phone. She gave me the username, password, handle this for me. And that's what she said.
So you are a professional LinkedIn instructor.
I'm a professional ghostwriter for 2 multimillionaires. I also handle my coach, Chris Brown's LinkedIn as well.
Okay. So here it is. You bringing massive value to the marketplace, and and you know, it's no thing to you because this is just what you do. I'm highlighting that because I think a lot of times we kind of discount ourselves by not understanding the impact that we have on other people's lives, and what we sometimes so easily write off, it literally can take somebody else to the next level. So I just want to encourage you to just keep being who you are, keep growing, keep just being Charrele. See, y'all are getting the well-behaved Charrele on the podcast today, and it's all good. But trust and believe, she cuts up, and she cuts up real good. And I want to make it very, very clear that even though you have proximity to Coach Stormy, it is because of the value that you bring that is able to maximize that. I heard SJ say this one day, and I was like, good Lord. She said proximity is just geography when you don't know what to do with it. I was like, what?
Yep. If you don't know what to do with the power, proximity is just geography.
It's just geography.
That somebody else powerful happened to be. If you know how to, listen, here's the rule of thumb. You always have to bring a cake to dinner. That's how I think. My mother used to tell me, you always got to bring something. Don't ever go nowhere empty-handed. And you know what? If you get broke and broken enough, you'll go into some places and bring light and energy and humor and happiness.
Absolutely.
Because definitely been some places, invited some places, and wasn't able at the time to physically give somebody or monetarily give somebody. And it feels horrible. So my subconscious says, you better make damn sure some of these people in this room know who you are and love you before you leave here. Make them happy.
Mm, 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 mm. Well, I want to kind of go back to, you know, the reason why you started making this transformation, because the transformation just wasn't physical. It's also spiritual. It's also,
Mhm.
mental. It's dealing with personal development. It's also dealing with our relationship with God. And we have to see the value that he placed in us. He
Mhm.
uniquely made us to perform a particular purpose. We are literally the answer to somebody else's problem. That's what we are. And every time that I see you as one great big answer. And we all should be able to bring that
Mhm.
type of value to people's lives. Period. And that's
Mhm.
when you're walking
I don't
in and
want to
you're
say
discovering your purpose. It's a beautiful
mhm.
thing.
I don't want to sound cliche and say ditto, but if you calling me one big answer, dude, we were just talking right before this on our prep call. And basically, you said that God told you to ask me to be on here. You're a walking answer because somebody may have been praying to see somebody like me talk. And without this
Mhm.
platform, they may not have seen me. So back to you.
I appreciate that. This
Yeah.
platform belongs to him. I'm
Mhm.
just the manager. I'm just the steward over it. And I pray that each and every person that is on this platform, they're on here because they're supposed to be on here.
Yeah.
Period. So I know that somebody needed to hear Charrele Brown tonight, not because of her close proximity to Stormy, but
Mhm.
because of who she is, because of the value that is just bubbling and overflowing. And this is just the beginning. Like I said, I am so excited and I am so curious as to where we're going to be. Where's Charrele going to be a year from now? We might not even have to wait a whole year. How about 6 months? Because
Yeah.
first of all, your transformation is sick. Let's not
Mhm.
discount that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you so smooth with it, and you talk about it like, yeah. Matter of fact, no. That
Mhm.
took some work,
It
and
did.
not only did it take some work, but it's taking the continual work. Think about this, y'all. This
Very.
woman is going out each and every morning and putting her life on display on Instagram, jump roping, anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 times. Like, do y'all realize how much activity that is?
Yeah, it's a
And
lot.
she is so real with it, and
Yeah.
that it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
So
We
I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, we built for it. You know what I mean? We call ourselves over there male, female, whatever you are, you're a greenhouse soldier. If you can hang with us, you a greenhouse soldier. So come join us. Instagram live. It's no cost, it's no nothing. But I'm gonna have my merch coming out soon. Of course,
Uh oh. Yeah.
you
I'm gonna have to give me some greenhouse apparel then.
yeah, you
That's
know
what we're gonna have to do.
I had to do merch. So yeah, I'm gonna have some merchandise coming out soon.
And I'm reading a comment in the chat. Maxine said, and she'll make you do it with her too. And I believe it too. Oh my God.
Mhm.
That is amazing. You are literally helping people take their lives to the next level. So I applaud you. I honor you. I cherish you. And man, I am so grateful that you came on this platform. Um, Before we end,
Mhm.
there are plenty of people that watch this, and I always like to end on a note of gratitude. But I want you to speak on two things. First of all, what are you grateful for today? And number
Mhm.
two, what words of encouragement can you leave someone who has experienced something similar to what you have experienced, who is still grieving,
Mhm.
a loved one passing away, and they trying their best to move forward. They just need some help. What
I
what words can you speak to them?
so as far as what I would tell some with some words of advice, man, listen. If you give up, you crazy. Because every decision you make is going to take you further away or closer to where you want to go. So if you know you control your decisions, your words, your actions, your thoughts, man, stay in your head. So stay out of your head. Stay in your head. Your thoughts become things. If you think that people don't like you will go into an environment where people see you, and because you have your defenses up, your body language and your energy is going to call you to look like somebody who's not approachable, and then you're going to think that everybody don't like you, and so
Right.
we make it happen basically. So my advice is to it, don't give up at all. It's but if you give up, you have to start over. Not made to be mediocre. We're not.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, look, Charrele, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I am just so honored that you even just took the time out to do this.
Mhm.
And something tells me this won't be the last time that you'll be on this podcast.
I'll,
Absolutely not at all,
I'll always do a
because we're all evolving. We're
yes.
all evolving.
Mhm.
All right, look, fam, let me make this announcement now. Next week, there will not be a podcast. Next week is a holiday week. And right there in the middle of the week, I'm actually going to be traveling. So I'm just going to travel in peace. I'm not going to try to do a podcast on the road. That would not be safe. So we're going to come back again very strong on the first week of December. So enjoy your holiday. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Please be safe. And then we're gonna be right back here the first Wednesday of December, and we're gonna start all over again. So look, my time is up. I thank you for yours. I love each and every one of you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peace. Charrele, don't go anywhere.
I like this. 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 I like this.